Hello, everybody. Can you hear us? Are we back? We're not
Can
sure.
you hear? Can you hear us?
Can you hear me? Because that would seem to be the problem the first time. Everyone can hear David just fine. All right. Chris says he can hear me.
How about me?
Can
How
you
about
hear
me, Chris?
David?
You can hear me?
All right. I'm not low. I'm not echoing. We're all good. So as usual, I tried something new and it failed. So we're we're back to normal, and hopefully there will be no more issues. So jumping back in there, I don't know if you guys caught the last thing we were talking about. We were talking about the guests, and I was asking David if there was anyone that they were working on, but as of now, no secrets to be revealed. But I mean, I still think it's awesome that there's a chance that there might be some guests from overseas joining, and so is that so? We'll get into that later. So now I know a big question that when we were talking about it on the last Kaiju Live show that people were asking was how are the is there going to be any kind of like virtual dealer room or how are the vendors going to work?
Yeah, there's definitely going to be an online dealer's room, and along with that, there will be a curated list of all of the kaiju vendors with links to their web stores.
Oh, awesome.
What we were trying to do initially is have a map of the G-Fest dealer's room, and then try to put people with their logos to their web stores or their businesses in certain areas along the map of the Crown Plaza dealer's room, and then when you click on that, it would bring you to their web store. So I'm not sure the logistics of that, but that's the ultimate goal, and that I think that would be pretty cool because it would sort of be like a virtual dealer's room.
That's
Literally.
awesome.
Yeah.
So will there be any other like anyone else going live? Like I know, for instance, Kaiju Live, we're going to be doing a show Sunday night around 9 p.m. Eastern, our typical time. As of now, I don't think that conflicts with anything. Will
Okay.
anyone else be doing any kind of like,
Like live streams?
yeah, like a live stream, or is it mostly just going to be websites?
There will be live streams throughout the day. I'm not sure of the list of the live streams. I think that's going to probably be coming up in the information this weekend, hopefully, the list of the live stream
Awesome.
schedule. I know we're going to be doing an episode of Collect All Monsters. It's going to be interesting because usually our episodes run pretty long. We're trying to keep them a little bit shorter, but it's really hard to do. So
Yeah.
in a nutshell, the 50-minute format is not going to work for the way we've been doing our shows recently. So it's going to be a challenge for us to get all of our content into 50 minutes, but we're up for it and we'll make it happen. So yeah, there will definitely be Collect All Monsters. And
Awesome.
yeah.
Can't wait. So, is there also going to be, so trying to replicate G-Fest, will there be some kind of, I know another big thing other than a dealer's room is also the Artist Alley.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, Artist Alley was one of the first ideas that Kyle came up with. So we've reached out to all of the G-Fest artists and beyond to join our Digital Artist Alley, which will include a text roster with links to their web stores. Plus, there will be a Flickr gallery featuring their awesome artwork.
Really?
Which is pretty cool. Yes, indeed.
Awesome.
Indeed.
And that will all still be on the kaijuconline.com, right? Everything will be.
Yes, this will be on the main page, and yeah, it's going to be the hub, so you can navigate to different points throughout the weekend.
Man, this is gonna be awesome. I can't wait for this. This is so freaking
Yeah,
cool.
it definitely. Kyle had mentioned wanting to do something like this months ago, and then all of a sudden it's just like, well, let's do it. And he rounded up a bunch of artists and talented people from the fandom to sort of band together to sort of make this a possibility. And now it's more than a possibility; it's actually happening. So
Yeah, it's just,
yeah. Well, I mean, it's probably gonna have a few glitches. It's inevitable, but
You can
I
count on one
think
from
that
me.
yeah. I mean, it's great because something to look forward to, because I know a lot of us were really bummed because there will be no actual G Fest this year,
Yeah.
and I just want to make a point that we're not trying to replace G Fest, and it's not going to replicate G Fest, but it's going to give us fans an opportunity to come together and do something positive and be together and celebrate the fandom on the weekend of G Fest. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's gonna be sweet.
should be
Um,
fun.
so speaking of, so we obviously we have a full weekend. We have. Thank you. This is one of our Kaiju Live, Brian Gazer's band, and it's Hedora.
Oh, nice, nice,
So
excellent.
always show some support. Um, so now I know it's the full weekend. We have Saturday the 11th and then Sunday the 12th.
That's
So what
correct.
kind of if you were gonna give me like a Saturday breakdown, what kind of like video programming are we looking at like as a mock-up full day?
So, video program will include panels. There will be a full weekend's worth of kaiju-centric panels starting at 9 a.m. Pacific and noon Eastern. That will be streamed on YouTube also. Some highlights that you can look forward to seeing. Arrow Video and artist Matt Frank are going to chat about the upcoming Gamma set. Are you kind of stoked about that?
Oh, absolutely. For those that don't know, since you're here, if you're watching, our first ever Kaiju live chat was actually with Matt Frank, and we went over that set. Matt Frank, and another plug for Matt, our logo monsters were brought to life by him. That's what's behind us.
Fantastic.
The artwork, Matt's amazing. I remember my first G Fest. He did a Godzilla versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I had to have that. And when we did a show, when I joined my dad doing the show, and he was in the chat, I literally like totally fanned and geeked out. And now we've become friends, and now he brought our logo monsters to life. So I love Matt. Matt's a great guy. So I can't wait to see more about the Arrow video. Did you see the new trailer, the final trailer that just came out today?
I absolutely did not, and I will
No?
check it out as soon as we're done. I did not.
You're gonna get goosebumps, man. It's one of the best put together hype Gamera things I've ever seen.
Fantastic. I actually have a cool Matt Frank story.
Okay.
So in 2015, a bunch of us went to Japan. Kyle, Rich Iso, John Bumpus, my husband Keith, and a bunch of other people, Dell, Champagne Martinez. And anyway, we got there a little bit before the crowd did. So Kyle, Keith, and I were strolling around Tokyo, and there was a shop called, Monster Zone, or I forget the name of the store now. Anyway, it was a store in Tokyo, and we walk up the stairs, and sitting right in the main entrance at a table signing his artwork is Matt Frank. So
Awesome.
That was a really cool thing to see him. Monster Zone? Oh, shoot. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, it was really cool to see him there and chat with him in Japan. I thought that was a really neat thing. And I had only met him at G Fest, I think, the year before, so that was the second time that I spoke to Matt, and it was in Japan. How cool is that?
In Japan. One day I hope to go. I was planning on
one
going
day
this year, but obviously we're gonna hold off on that one.
I mean, I don't know. I'd so like this COVID thing and the quarantine. I can't really complain too much because people have it a lot worse than I do. The thing that's getting me down the most is not being able to travel. And I know that's not a big deal in the scheme of things, but if you knew how much I love to travel.
That's your jam. Yeah, that's
my jam. Travel and take photos is my jam. So not being able to do that for the foreseeable future, AJ, is not something that sits well with me. But again, I'm not complaining. A lot of people have it much worse than I do, and I have a roof over my head. I'm safe and not sick. So anyway, getting back to the Gamera set, the creator of Kaiju Line, Mr. Kyle Yount, is going to do the commentary on Gamera 2,
Really?
which is pretty amazing.
Oh, that's gonna
I
be
think
awesome.
had you heard that already or not yet?
No, that's new. That's breaking news to
Oh,
me. Yeah.
yeah, that is definitely going to be neat, and that's a pretty big deal too. That's my favorite of the three, so I'm pretty stoked for that.
Is
And
that Kyle's first ever commentary on a movie?
you know,
Officially?
I believe so. I believe this is like the first like official one. He may
Congrats,
have
man.
contributed. Yeah, I know exactly. Cheers to you, buddy. So, actually, one of the a future episode of Collect All Monsters, I'm going to dedicate my segment to interviewing Kyle about that process. So that should be pretty fun. I'm looking forward to doing that too.
Awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to get that set. It comes out. I mean, wow. I think it comes out next week, right? I think so.
Is it that soon? It's soon. It's in the summer, so it's now the summer. So, some other things that are happening. There's going to be some scholarly looks at the genre from Kevin Durdorf and Steve Reifel, and there will also be a video game reveal and some live podcasts being recorded and presented during the event. So that's some other things that we can look forward to.
As a video game, well, I used to be a video. I want to say nerd, but I only really play one game these days. Is it more of the same game from last G Fest, or is it a brand new game, if I may ask?
So you may ask, but I don't have the answer because I am not the game guy. I have to get back to you on that, but I really don't know. That's not my cup of tea, gaming. So forgive me for not being able to elaborate on that. But
no problem, because that game looked pretty awesome. Hopefully it's more reveal of more gameplay from it. Oh, it looks like Kyle says more of the same. So sweet.
More of the same. There. Good. I'm glad Kyle is watching and keeping me on my toes because it's like, I don't know the answer to that. But yeah, so look forward to that. It should be fun for those of you who are gamers out there.
Let's see. What else? And then, is there more video programming or?
Yeah, there's a bunch of other things that will be happening. DKU TV will be streaming some kaiju movies in the evenings in conjunction with the event.
Awesome. Shout out to Joseph.
Yeah, definitely. Our friend Jeff Horn, we all know Jeff Horn, is going to be streaming a massive amount of G-Fest footage dating all the way back to 1999 on the G-Fest Facebook page starting on Thursday, July 9th, which I'm really looking forward to that. That should be really fun.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to tune into that. I wonder just to see it, because I mean, my first G-Fest was 14, so just to see it from 98 and how it's grown exponentially over the years should be wild to see.
When was the first G-Fest that you attended?
I believe it was 14. It was when the first Legendary movie came out, and it was the first time they did the orchestra
concert.
Yeah, the concert, which was a surprise. I mean, when we got there, I saw that and was like, we have to go to this. My dad was like, I'm like, no, we're going to this. And then
Pop, we're going to that, man. We're going to that. Yeah, that was actually my first year too.
Oh, really?
I had never been before that. So 2014 was my very first year. And I one of my best G-Fest memories, I got to say, was actually going to that concert at the Pickwick and listening to Ifkube's music that I've been listening to since I was a kid with you guys, with my fellow fans. You know, I got to say, I got choked up a little bit. It was kind of overwhelming, and it was great. I absolutely loved it. So yeah, it's interesting that we both went that very year for our first times.
Yeah, but I mean, me and my dad just kept to ourselves then.
Oh yeah, I had nothing going on either. Like that, my first year, I just kind of walked around with my mouth open, like, oh my god, this.
Yeah, this is madness.
And I kept thinking in my head, man, if I was able to go to something like this when I was a little kid, I would have lost my mind. You know what I mean? it was just so cool to see all that stuff in one place. And the weird thing about it, AJ, was that I was kind of new to these Facebook groups too, and I've talked to a lot of these guys like Rich and John, and I never met them in person. The only person I had met in person was Kyle. He's the only one that I knew at the whole convention, and when we finally met face to face, it was like we had known each other forever. It wasn't strange at all because we're all sort of simpatico and on the same page about, what we're into and the stuff that we dig. So I don't know if you had that feeling too.
Oh yeah, the Facebook groups. One actually like brought me back to focus on Godzilla collecting. I had taken a pretty big break. Me and my dad have always collected together, but I had moved on to superhero stuff. I got addicted to like premium format and like Hot Toys for like a 2-3 year period.
That's easy to do.
Yeah, and then that got out of control, and then now Godzilla's back out of control. So I just but
yeah, it definitely ignited my passion for the fandom, like being together with those guys, and it was just great. It was just great. So one other thing that's going to be happening, speaking of G-Fest, is Derek from Monster Kid Radio podcast is going to be streaming Kaiju program on Twitch.
Nice.
Throughout the weekend, which is sort of going to simulate the vibe when you go to your hotel room and you turn on the TV at the Crowne Plaza and you got all this wild Kaiju stuff going on in the background. Awesome. While you're unpacking the stuff that you just bought in the dealer's room, So it's going to give it an immersive experience. And another funny story is it seems like every time that we go back to the room and turn the TV on, it's Goliath versus Daigoro is on. That's the movie that's on all the time. Nice. And it's like we always catch that movie at the same point too. So that's pretty interesting. But anywho, yes.
All right. So moving along, because we're not done yet. There's still more to go over,
nope.
And I know this next part speaks to you. So
yes.
What do we got going on for any photo galleries or?
Yes, absolutely. My thing is taking photos, as most of you know. I have curated a massive gallery of G-Fest memories from my years at G-Fest, 2014 through 2019, and just snapshots of the convention, guests, people, dealers, parties, anything you can think of. And I put over 500 photos in there. And it was definitely a challenge to curate just the right ones to put into the gallery. One of my favorite photos that I've ever taken at any G-Fest was the one of your daughter.
I still can't believe that happened.
It was like I had just come out from the claw mark table to take a shot of that suit, that awesome Godzilla suit. And was that your wife? Was that Crystal?
That was Crystal, my sister.
That was Crystal. And I just sort of jumped in front at the perfect moment where she's looking at Godzilla, kind of like, and then it just was one of those like serendipitous perfect moments that, everything falls in place. And I still have to send you a copy of that once I start going to the post office again. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I love taking over the years. I've got like
I gotta get that picture blown up and framed.
Yeah, it's in the gallery. It's definitely in the gallery.
And I know it made a G-Fan as well, which is
what's that now?
I know it made a G-Fan as well, which is
it did. It made an episode of G-Fan. I always send a bunch of photos to the magazine to see which ones they want to publish. And I always I can never tell which ones they're going to use. Usually it's the ones that I don't want them to use. But that one was one that I absolutely wanted. And that one should have been on the cover for as far as I'm concerned.
God, that would have been wild.
But it's great.
Show her in like 15 years, like, hey, this is you.
That's you. That's absolutely you. So yeah, aside from my gallery, there's also going to be a Kaiju toy photo gallery that people out there can still contribute to. It's a Flickr gallery. And all you have to do is join Flickr if you're not already a member. It's free to join, and it's easy to upload your photos. And just search for Kaiju Conline toy photo group and add your photos to the group. And if you're having difficulty with it and you're only using a mobile device, you could just get in touch with me and I'll send you an invitation to join the group. So that's going to be there too. And I've already gotten there's I think close to 200 photos already.
Nice.
Which is great. And Stan Hyde is organizing a model kit photo gallery too. And you can check that out. What is Stan's? My mind isn't working today. Contact Stan Hyde and his group, and he's got forms, a simple form to fill out where you can submit the model so it can be showcased. There's no prizes or anything, but it's just a way to showcase, your awesome skills at modeling and photography. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for the Flickr galleries. Trying to think what else I need to tell you guys. Okay, Sean from Project Nautilus has been working with costumers to organize a showcase gallery with photos and videos of kaiju cosplay, which should be pretty fun.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. That's always a great thing to see at G-Fest, and all the creativity.
That one costume that was with Abby, that was that was out of a movie. That might as well have been from a production.
That was beyond outstanding. Yeah, that suit was really, really cool. So I'm sure, I think his name is Sean, and his work is outstanding. And I think that'll be a really fun thing that people will enjoy on the weekend. So yeah, that's pretty much it for what I wanted to talk about the Kaiju Conline. And I just also real quick wanted to personally thank Kyle for spearheading this entire event. And he and the many talented volunteers are working really hard to bring all of us Kaiju fans together on what would have been G-Fest weekend. And it's just something that we all kind of need during these crazy times, something to look forward to, and to take the place of an event that we all really look forward to on our calendars every year. So I just hope everybody wants to participate and come check it out, stay for a while, stay all day. It should be fun. And if you're going to do anything, watch our 50-minute episode of Collect All Monsters.
Yeah, my birthday's actually July 11th, so I'll be...
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, so G-Fest is essentially my birthday weekend, yeah. So I'll have that pretty much on the TV all day. So
That's great. So we will definitely give you a birthday shout out on Collect All Monsters, which
awesome.
will be on the same time at 3 p.m. Pacific and 6 p.m. Eastern. So yes, sir. Happy almost birthday.
Yes, the big 3-4. I think I'm 34.
Oh, stop.
Something like
I don't
that.
even want to hear it. I don't even want to hear it.
Again, the Grays, they're here. They're coming.
Yeah, I've got a lot of the Grays, so.
All right, so, and what about Kaiju Cast? Kaiju Cast, they planned?
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, Kyle would have my head if I forgot this. You couldn't have a gathering of crazy Kaiju fans without having a Kaiju Cast listeners party. And I think this is going to be the very first online Kaiju Cast listeners party. And there's going to be crazy bands. I can't think of the name of the bands now. Do you have it? I think I wrote it in the notes that I gave to you.
Cosmic Monster and Oxygen Destroyer.
Yes, Cosmic Monster and Oxygen Destroyer. Yeah, give me another sip of scotch and I'll really screw things up. Yeah, so the Kaiju Cast listeners party. Kaiju Cast, of course, is Kyle's podcast that he ran for over 10 years, and now we're doing the next incarnation, which is Collect All Monsters. But those guys were pioneers, and cheers to them. And the party should be fun.
Awesome.
Thank you for reminding me.
No problem. Yeah, I was like, maybe I don't know if we can not talk about that.
Oh no, we definitely needed to talk about that, and yeah. So thank you for that.
So again, everybody, definitely check out www.kaijuconline.com. I believe this Saturday is when it's getting a big update haul
That's correct.
And so the website will be more fully functional to what the weekend will be, and we'll be sharing it. Kaiju, and we'll be sharing everything that's out there. We'll be sharing, showing our support, and there will be a Kaiju live Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, and
Excellent.
we got some fun stuff that we've been kind of holding back. So
Nice.
ever
I look
since we
forward
heard
to
of
that.
it.
I'm looking forward to that. Haven't been able to tune in the last couple of episodes, but yeah, I definitely want to check out. I've yet to win any auctions from your show, so
Well, it looks like
I
you got
think
a lot of stuff behind you, so I'm sure it's
uh,
hard for us to find something you don't have.
yeah, there's a lot of stuff behind me, and I'm at the point now where I really have to do one in, one out, which is kind of crazy, but
I'm almost there myself. It's
yeah.
uh, thank thankfully this gigantic Mechagodzilla stands straight up and doesn't have a big tail, so
Exactly,
perfect.
exactly, and yeah, I don't know where mine's going. I'm getting mine shipped EMS from Hobby Search, so I don't even know when it's going to show
Yeah,
up.
sometime next year you'll get it.
Sometime next year. It's fine. Maybe by then I'll figure out how to make some room for him. So it's all good as long as I know he's coming, and it's fine. I don't need him. I'll get to look at all of your guys' awesome pieces before mine arrives. So that's pretty
Uh,
cool.
yeah, I just did our first ever little review yesterday on the gigantic Mechagodzilla because I know I had said this in the review. I was originally a hater of the very static pose that it had, and they were very hush hush about the articulation, which I found to be weird. And then you get it, and it's basically as articulate as you could want from a robot. So I love it. It's a pleasant surprise, and I'm so happy that it's basically perfect.
That's great. I'm happy that you got yours already. That's great.
So speaking of toys, do you have anything that you're working on currently?
Well, as a matter of fact, before I get into that, I want to show you something that I did just pick up that I'm not working on, but I just got.
Ooh,
This is the transforming Mechagodzilla
hold on, let me.
from the premium Bandai set. Now, there's a reason that I only have one. Um, I wasn't going to spring for the whole set because I thought, A, I don't have enough room, and B, it's pretty much the same figure in different stages. However, my friends, John Bumpus and James Hartman, we all three of us decided that we're going to buy the set and we are going to each take one.
Hold on,
And
I'm blowing you up to the full.
are you blowing me up?
Yeah, hold on a
Okay.
second. That little box is gonna be there, but it's all good.
Anyway, so we each got one of these guys, a different one from the set, and I got the one that's halfway transforming, and I absolutely love it. It's beautiful, it's colorful, it's great. Bandai Premium really stepped up their game. Now I kind of do want the other two. Now that I see how great this one is, but you know,
Yes.
whatever, it's fine. I'm happy that I just have one, and that my pals have the other two. So it's kind of neat in that respect. So yeah, I just got him. And are you getting the set, AJ, or do you have it yet?
I am getting the set, but I have not gotten it yet. Once they came out with the Godzilla version, I was like, I have to get this. The fake Mecha Godzilla. Like I can't not get it.
Yeah, smart move, man. I
Yeah,
mean, like I
it,
said, having it in person, it's really outstanding, and they really outdid themselves on this particular one. So I'm glad I have one. Now I wish I had all three, but you will be very happy when you do get your set. So now I think your initial question was, am I working on anything? And the answer is a resounding yes. So as you know, and Rich Iso knows, the three of us ordered the 40 centimeter resin KOC 1964 Godzilla sculpted by Akira Ibaraki. And it is absolutely, and I'm going to say this, you can quote me, the quintessential representation of the 1964 suit that I've ever seen.
it's big praise. Big praise.
It's big praise. It's big praise. I have the M1 rubber skin. I've got the X Plus 30 centimeter closed mouth. Rick version, and a few other model kits here and there. But I got to say, man, the the detail on the resin, it's just so spot on. It looks like it stepped right out of the movie. And not only that, it's resin, so the detail is super crisp, super clean. It goes together like a dream. I mean, let's backtrack a little bit. So when you and Rich initially asked me if I would build and paint this for you, I declined. I said, no, there's no way in hell that my ass is going to ship a 40 centimeter resin model kit across the country and expect it to get there in one piece. So after looking at the kit, I'm like, wait a minute. It looks like it's going to be pretty easy to assemble. So what I could do for you guys is I can paint the pieces, the individual pieces, put them back in the body, and then ship them that way. And then you guys can assemble them when you receive them. And boy, was that because I put this thing together in less than 5 minutes without any glue. It holds together. It's that great. And even with no glue, there's seams on it. So it's a dream. And we were talking about this earlier. I don't ever want to put a normal resin kit together again after this one, because this one is so easy. And it comes with two heads. It comes with a closed head. I can show you these too. So a slightly open mouth. I don't know if you guys can see that. Slightly open mouth. And the cool thing about it is even the jaw is with a magnet. So you just kind of
That's unbelievable.
Stick it in place, and there you have it. It's totally, on there. And it comes with a closed mouth version. And you can choose, because it's on a magnet, you can choose which head you want to feature on the kit. And you can just switch them out at your convenience. And the cool thing is it comes with a little stand, a little display, so you can put the head that you're not using right next to your figure. How cool is that?
That's
pretty awesome.
Yeah, before we went on, we were talking about how I'm excited to see finally maybe that magnets are coming over to Kaiju figures, because as someone that's been collecting, the big resin premium formats, it's just so much better than heating up tails or cutting around the excess. Like, it's just that's the way. And I know they tried once on the X Plus GMK Ghidra and kind of not the greatest success.
Maybe back to the drawing board on that one. Yeah. But this one is, you're going to be so stoked when you get it. And let me show you the actual body of the kit too. And this thing is heavy. When I say heavy, this thing is really heavy. So as you can see, he's in progress right now. And
so excited.
It's
just ship them like that. It's fine.
What's that?
You can ship them like that. Yeah, it's just fine.
Okay. Hey, I'll do it, man. I'll do it. This is just the first of many steps. The base color, which I obsessed over, and then you go in for your dark washes, in the folds of the suit, and then you finally come back with your highlights and your slight dry brushing. But yeah, and you can see there's the magnet on the head there, and again, I can say emphatically that this is one of my favorite pieces in my entire collection, and it's not even complete yet. So I'm totally stoked. And what I'm going to do for you guys too, I'm going to include to you and Rich a small container of the actual base coat, just in case there's any scuffs or nicks that you guys can fix on your own when you receive them.
Thank you so much, man.
You're very welcome.
So I just did something kind of hilarious by accident. Check this out. The power of green screen. It now looks like you're literally on our table in front of my 2X Plus figures. I don't know how I did that, but
I like it. I mean, I've been in more strange spots than this in my life, but that's pretty cool.
That's hilarious.
I like it.
So since you showed off some stuff, since I did the review of the giant X Plus Mechagodzilla, which you can now see is dancing. Whoa. So here is the RC Mechagodzilla. that people were asking about. Let me get him in a. There we go. Now this thing does. If you've never seen this before, now I know someone even said on the review that that just looks like a toy in comparison to the X Plus. Now, paint app wise, I absolutely agree. The paint app on the X Plus is, in my opinion, top 3 paint apps ever that they've done.
Okay, that's a pretty big assessment.
He's got his. I'll grab him in a second, but like, like in the Space Titanium, it had like that blue and the, I want to say brown, but like the gold. Like that's his whole paint app. He's beautiful. He just looks like a giant piece. But now, the paint app on this isn't the greatest. He's got this weird, I don't know, silver brown highlights. But the X Plus can't do stuff like this.
Wow. Oh man, that is too cool.
So, if you want to call this a toy all you want, I beg to differ. Because again, X Plus ain't doing this.
Okay.
Oh, too close. Too close.
Ow! I couldn't resist. Yeah, that thing is insane. And the paint app might not be perfect, but the sculpt looks pretty good, AJ.
Oh no, the sculpt is spot on. It really is just the paint app, to be honest. Like, I don't know why they went with that brownish highlight color, but there is a combo in here. I got the manual that I'm going through where he does the. Let's see what this one does. Oh. Shoots the missiles out.
Oh, shooting his missiles. Oh, fantastic.
There is a combo where he does the Godzilla vs. King Caesar fight where he... Oh, I think I just got it. Hold on. Back him up a little bit here. Get him in proper... So King Caesar's behind him. And then he...
Okay. That is worth the price of admission right there. That's so cool.
And then, if you just want everything, chest opens, we got eyes lighting up, hands. Oh, his feet light up too, the feet missiles. And this is way more than a toy, everybody. So I had to give him some... We didn't have this thing takes 12 AA batteries, by the way, between the remote control and they all go in his tail. Here's the remote control that has all the stuff on it. So yeah, after the X Plus review, where I think I even referred to it as it looked kind of like a Mattel toy next to the X Plus, I had to give him his fair shot here and show you why it is one of the coolest. And this is my dad's, by the way. This isn't mine. This is my dad's Grail right here. So I'm very happy that we actually had a scare. It didn't work initially. The connection with the tail, he had to put it in a couple times, and then it was
yikes.
It's like, oh boy. But
yikes.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what.
This is one of our Grails in the collection for sure.
It's a spectacular piece, and I've never seen it in action before. Diane Dougherty was selling one at Clawmark last year, and it was in a box behind the counter. Mm-hmm. And I think I took it out. I think I opened the box to show someone, but of course I didn't get to see it in action like that. And I'm more than impressed with all the stuff that it can do with the sound effects and everything. And
it even has a volume button where you can make it be silent or turn it up.
Wow. I think you should make.
That's in front of you.
Think about making some kind of a video, like an animated video with that guy, because
you totally could. Yeah,
that would be super cool.
Oh, what did I do? Oh no. Hold on.
There I am. Okay.
There you go. Mega Godzilla accidentally hit the space keyboard and went to a different scene that you weren't in.
That's right. That's right. I don't need to be in every scene. Yeah, That's super awesome, and it's the year of Mechagodzilla, I guess. I mean, with that, the Bandai Premium and the X Plus gigantic show of Mechagodzilla is front and center
Yeah,
this summer, right?
absolutely. And I mean, I'm really stoked that the fake Godzilla is getting some love also in the second part of that premium set. That's I hope X Plus does that at some point. I know there's some that one fantastic model kit, or maybe it was a custom. I believe Leslie has it, which
It's
is
actually a kit, AJ.
it is a
It's
kit.
done by that was Burley Vang, the
That thing came out
imposter,
beautiful.
and Steve Heron, who I'm sure you know, he does those awesome dioramas. He just recently posted a photo of his finished model of the imposter Godzilla in the skin, the Mechagodzilla in the Godzilla skin, and it is like so awesome. It's really
I
great.
gotta
So
find that or send it
yeah,
to me.
I'll send it to you so you don't have to search for it. I'm pretty sure that X Plus will eventually get to these more obscure designs because they're starting to run out of stuff, man.
Yeah, well, I know. I mean, even the D4 Real line, they're coming on strong, especially with 74. You got the whole kit and caboodle there. Mechagodzilla, Caesar, Godzilla
Yeah,
finally. Um,
definitely, definitely.
so,
No, that's great.
if,
Thank you for sharing that. That made my day. That's super cool.
no problem, man. Glad I could. Glad it worked. Because
Yeah.
we've had, took the battery. We haven't turned this thing on in probably 6, 7 years. Checked it out once and I was like, all right, take the batteries out. Can't ruin this thing.
Oh, you've had it for that long?
I think my dad got this the first year it came out.
Wow.
My dad saw
Wow.
this, and that's my my dad's be all end all. He loves Mecha Godzilla, Mecha King Ghidorah. Like he's all
He's a
about
mecha
the
dude.
he's all about the mechas. So
Mecha Kong? Is he stoked for Mecha Kong too?
absolutely. I still
Yeah.
I think I did this in one actually the discussion with Matt. We talked about this, but my for the new movie, I wanted them. The reason Godzilla and Kong squared off, my little fan thing was I wanted it to be Mechanic Kong with the skin over him, and it wasn't really Kong. He was in a bunker somewhere. They used him as a, and then he breaks out, and then they fight Mechanic Kong together. We're getting some kind of version of that, but not quite.
You know what? I absolutely love that concept.
I
I'm not a huge fan of the MonsterVerse, as you know, right? And I am like, when it comes out, it comes out. I'm not super stoked to see it, but I did enjoy the Kong film a lot. I liked Skull Island.
yeah,
And I
Skull's my
think
favorite.
your idea of Kong in like a fake Kong, get like some kind of a Doctor Who character, a little
Yeah.
bit of nod to that, and
Yeah, just
maybe
a total nod to the '70s era,
Totally.
where
See,
aliens, you know what I mean? Just
that would
aliens
make me
came in,
super-
took over Monarch when Sarazawa died. Like, just if you're gonna go all out with the
go all out.
yeah, the show
That would make
kind
me
of stuff,
too-
just do it.
That would make me super happy. So the aliens come down, right? For the third of third planet, the black hole, right? Black hole aliens. They meet up with Doctor Who and Madam X, right? And they construct this giant ape robot, and they put this fake skin on him, and then all chaos ensues from there. That would be so cool. It's never going to happen.
No,
but,
no, yeah,
in my mind,
these are
that
not spoilers,
would be
everybody.
something I would like.
We're just making stuff up.
Yeah, that's okay.
Kyle says originally released in '08 for around $750. Wow. Well,
Whoa.
I don't
Okay.
think we paid that little when my dad got this, and I know for sure you'll never see it. The last time I even saw this, I think it went for the 3,500 ish. You never see this thing.
Yeah, I can't remember what Diane was asking for at last GFest, but it definitely was not 750. I can tell you that.
Yeah, no, I don't believe it was. And no, this is not ever going on Kaiju Live.
No.
Put this bad boy away.
Awesome.
Stay. Be good. But saw one on eBay for $6,000. Well, I don't know if that's a fair price. But hey, I mean, then again, can't put a price on something you want. So
I need to make sure. My friend and co-host from Collect All Monsters, John Ruffin, watches this episode, the show, because he's a huge Mechagodzilla fan, Showa Mechagodzilla fan. So I think if he's not already seen that, he's going to be completely blown away when he sees the features on that piece.
John's, I guess photoshopping, we would call it, is just every time he posts a picture. It's that he just did the FSL 62.
Yes, he did.
It's like it's crazy. Everything that he takes looks like it's literally out of the movie.
He is an enigma, man. His technique and his artistry of these photos, it's just beyond, like.
I get all excited when I take like a halfway decent pic in a photo in the little photo box here for like a sneak peek. I'm like, yeah, look, it actually looks good. And then he's just like, looks good. Let me show you how it's done.
No, that's not John at all. John's super humble too. Like he definitely, like, always saying he wants to improve, but I don't think you can improve on that. And he inspires the hell out of me. I mean, I can take a halfway decent photo of a toy, but that guy, man, I don't know. He's excellent. John Ruffin and Steve Herron are my two inspirations for as far as like kaiju dioramas go. It doesn't get any better than those two. I mean, now while John actually photoshops a lot of his dioramas, I mean, he does create. There are some physical buildings and things, but Steve Herron builds entire sets in his backyard, like large scale.
That's unbelievable.
That dude, there's actually, he was featured. Kyle interviewed him on a past episode of Collect All Monsters, and talks about his technique, how he does that, and it's pretty amazing. And like I said, anytime someone wants a diorama photo, I don't even attempt it anymore because I know those two can blow me out of the water.
You're like, let me send you to the right place.
Yeah, send you to the right place. If you want like a decent, fun kaiju portrait or a close-up, then I'm your guy, right? But if you want a diorama that's going to look like it just stepped out of the movie, then those two guys are the ones to go to.
But yeah. All right, man. I appreciate you so much for coming on and talking about Kaiju Conline. Again, everybody, go to www.kaijuconline.com. Big update is coming this Saturday for all the vendors, Artist Alley, video paneling, and I'm sure more updates to come after that. But Saturday will be the next step in. I guess what the final website is going to be looking like. So on that, do you have any closing comments? Anything we might have missed that?
No, I think we did a great job covering everything, and I just want to thank you for inviting me on your show. It was a lot of fun. It's great to chat about toys and monsters and things like that. And yeah, if anybody has any questions or concerns or ideas.
Let's open it up to that before we go. Anyone have any questions before we leave? I know we got a couple people here in the chat. Mine as well.
I was just going to say contact me later on, but we can do it now too.
Yeah, we're not. Another two or 3 minutes here. If anyone's got any things that they have concerns, the entire event is virtual, online, and free. Everybody,
that's absolutely correct.
No subscribing. I mean, obviously. Any of the people, like if you're enjoying this, please like and subscribe. Again, subscribing on YouTube is completely free. But of course, anyone that's on there from the paneling, everything's going to be free. There is no paid subscription, I guess. Is
no charge for anything. And even if you want to participate in the Kaiju Toy Photo Gallery, you have to have a Flickr account, and that's also free. So there's nothing. No one's making any money. This is all volunteers. It's all people, just hanging out and enjoying the fandom together.
James wants to know, how are you so fabulous?
How am I so fabulous?
James Hartman. Yes, that is his question in the chat.
Oh,
James, get out of
here. James is. I don't know, James. Stop it. Quiet. Be quiet.
Donna, will there be a time schedule? Yes, absolutely. Again, check out the website this Saturday.
There will be some updates on Saturday, but then the full roster of everything happening will go up on the day of the morning of the event on the 11th.
Rob, get out of here. We're not. There's no Kaiju live stuff tonight. That's next Sunday on the 12th, 9
You mean
p.m.
I can't sell anything now? I mean,
all right. What are we starting at? $3, everybody.
Why the hell am I on here if I can't sell anything? What am I doing?
Oh, dude. But all right, man. I appreciate everything that you do. Thank you so much. Shout out to Kyle over at Kaiju Cast for, like you said, spearheading
Absolutely.
all of this. It's gonna be a great time. So if you're missing out on G Fest, definitely check in that weekend. I'm sure there's gonna be something that you're interested in, whether it's the vendor list, Artist Alley. I'm sure Collect All Monsters, video game panel. I mean, it's
Kaiju Live.
Kaiju Live, yes. There's going to be something for everybody at some point or another. So
I couldn't have said it better myself. Something for everybody. So please come join us. It's going to be a fun time, fun weekend.
Well, all right, everybody. Thanks so much for watching, and have a good night.
Cheers.
David, hold on a second.